What it do, chooms? Welcome to Space JB. I am your legendary fixer, fine wine aging, Johnny Silverhand hating, and Queen of the Afterlife host, Space Amadeus, and thank y'all for clicking this video. Today, I have accepted one mission and one mission only. That is to talk about a fever dream of an idea for a potential Cyberpunk 2077 Unreal Engine remake project and my thoughts on how this could be a great future move for CDPR. Before we get started, let me state that I have no idea how games are made or how remakes are done, yet both things are possible in this reality, so I ask, dare to dream with me on this. So strap in, let's cook up these engines, and let's take off. Let's start things off here. For most of us Cyberpunk 2077 fans, we all know the tumultuous, problematic start this game had back in 2020. For us, it's like kicking a downed horse or relentlessly physically assaulting a damn cow that refuses to give up.
God, hell is wrong with you? Let it go! Go!
Yet, for the new choombas who haven't seen any of my previous videos,
You fucking didn't.
and are just now discovering the remarkable world of Night City, here's a brief recap. Before I get to the deets though, I'll leave timestamps for all my folks who know this story and want to skip ahead. Still here? Okay, let's make this quick. Simply put, the original launch of Cyberpunk 2077 went as well as Tug Speedman's fake torture scene.
Oh, Jesus.
With a promising announcement trailer that was completely cinematic, followed by one of the best lines that would come back to unfortunately bite them in the chrome, coming when it's ready, the game looked promising. It boasted such a fantastical and immersive world all built around the fan favorite lore of the original work by Mike Pondsmith. We were promised a highly detailed character creating interface where your life path highly affected the world the player experienced in the game, making it seem as if your choices were really going to have huge impacts in your gameplay. From almost sim-like NPCs that were supposed to be living their own lives, the world of Night City was supposed to be almost completely explorable, with so much of the world fully detailed and rendered to the point you could walk into any building and have a fleshed out environment. With problems due to everything from the pandemic to a beyond buggy debut and misleading information that caused a lawsuit, and it was so bad it was removed from the PlayStation Store with refunds. It was hard to imagine the game ever making it through something like that, or any game for that matter. After some unfortunate layoffs and changes in command, the game was patched to the point of looking like The Bride. By the way, if you haven't seen Creature Commandos, you're missing out. Anyway, the game managed to survive the criticism and pretty much a failure at launch. Yet, this wasn't the end of our favorite futuristic RPG. Let's roll into some of the updates that Cyberpunk has seen. Cyberpunk was facing almost certain destruction when the glorious sound of glass breaking and a knee brace denim short wearing madman came through and started kicking ass. After the new game director, Gabe, you got this, I got this, Gabe Ematangelo, was brought on to take over the project, the game started to see a bit of hope.
He is the one.
The release of the Phantom Liberty expansion back in September of 2023 is where the game saw a huge resurgence of player count and effectively won back its original fan base. Ever since the following 2.0 to 2.21 updates, the game has held a steady average of around 30,000 players a month. The 2.0 update, in my opinion, was the first time the game embodied the original concepts and playability that were supposed to come at launch, or quoted, coming when it's ready. With those days far behind us, fans honestly treat the game as if nothing ever happened, which isn't a bad thing. Luckily, I had my shades on when the neuralizer flashed, so I remember everything.
Okay, you know how you're on an airplane and the flight attendant asks you to turn your cell phone off? And you like, I ain't turning my cell phone off. That don't have nothing to do with no damn airplane. Well, this what we get. That's what happens. It gets up there, bounces around on the satellites, and blam.
With that said, I want to make it very clear that I absolutely love Cyberpunk 2077, and it's one of my top 2 favorite RPGs of all time and has been my unquestioned favorite game of the last 5 years. The dev team worked diligently to ripper this wounded project back to 100% with extra cheese and a side of hot sauce. One thing we all can't deny is that their efforts cemented this RPG as one of the best comebacks in gaming history. As of today, the game is ranked as the 11th top selling game on the Steam charts and with a Nova 83% positive rating. With those kind of numbers, it's hard not to wonder what CDPR's next moves for the game could be. We all know that CDPR has already confirmed that there will be a follow-up to the Cyberpunk 2077 game under codename Project Orion. Given the exciting news, there are still 2 major game events happening that I hypothesize could drastically change the course of Cyberpunk's future. One of these events being the fact that GTA 6 is releasing this year, and Rockstar could, or better said, almost be expected to shift the entire food chain of the gaming world with the amount of hype and anticipation this game is already getting. There's news saying it could cost anywhere from the common 70 to well over 100 eddies for the base edition and further push the boundaries of what is possible in open world games. Not only could this game potentially break records, but it also could show what a game whose team understands its identity thoroughly and its fan base with pure confidence. Think about this, chooms. If GTA successfully launches its game at $100 for the base version, that will reset the market, and if I'm gonna be honest with you, I hope it does. With everything that goes into the game behind the scenes with these creators and developers, I think that they deserve a payday like this. And if it can give us some sense of insurance or reassurance that these games will be as tip-top as they could be on launch day, I'm all for paying a bigger price tag. The way this could affect Cyberpunk and the CDPR team comes at no surprise, because once GTA 6 drops, it will take over the internet and all streaming platforms. In my opinion, any game similar to GTA will see alarming drops in player count. Cyberpunk is very much one of those games that can see the player count get cut in half or even worse. The reason I mention this is because with the small dev team that's already working on the game, putting out the 2.0, 2.2, 2.21, all these new updates, though minute, are very, very impactful to the game. If the player count significantly drops, would that even give CDPR a reason to keep that dev team on? And though I understand, eventually the dev team will be completely removed from that game, as they will be needed to work on Cyberpunk 2 or any of the other CDPR projects that they have in mind. The other event comes from CDPR themselves, with the future launch of one of their most anticipated IPs, The Witcher 4. The trailer dropped during the 2024 Game Awards and immediately had the fans slack-jawed and salivating. The way that this will affect Cyberpunk is that The Witcher 4 will be the first game for them that is using UE5. This will showcase what a great dev team can do when they have very little, if any, creative limitations and the credibility to be very profitable. With what is possible for them to create in their game using the most popular engine in modern gaming, could easily be one of the best games to drop over the next 5 years, yet also be put in the category of utilizing it as a part teaser for what technological advancements UE5 can bring to CDPR's future games like Cyberpunk 2. Though the game won't be coming out until probably 2027, maybe more likely 2028, I can only imagine, us fans can only imagine, what new, incredibly detailed and open and far as fantastical world The Witcher 4 is going to be able to present to us using all the incredible perks that come with UE5. This is only going to set the bar even higher for CDPR and all of its future projects, utilizing this Epic Games team up. Can we please just appreciate Unreal Engine 5? I don't need to glaze it, so they say these days. but I'm gonna. It's a goddamn saint of an engine. You dig? It is God tier, Omega level, the one above all. You know what I'm saying? That's what Unreal Engine 5 is, okay? That leads me into the reason for the title of this video. What if CDPR released a remade version of Cyberpunk 2077 using UE5? I get it, chooms. You think that's it? I have finally completely lost my mind. I don't know why I keep listening to this guy. He's crazy. Well, it's too late for that realization.
Welcome to hell, motherfucker!
Now, deep dive with me through this idea and play a game with me, Ray, as I tell you a story, or as Hugh Grant says,
I'm laying pipe.
let me once again state that I have no clue how games or remakes are even made. With the fact that CDPR switched to UE5 makes me think, why not further capitalize on the opportunity? It's like being a movie project that is getting backed by Disney money. The VP of Tech for CDPR, Charles Tremblay, made it clear that the switch from the company's internal Red engine wasn't about the engine being so bad that they needed to switch, and that the team, himself included, were more than proud of the engine that they had built. The move was more of a way for them to work on multiple projects at once and for the symbiotic relationship they want to have with the Unreal Engine tech. This is a perfect setup to simply slide the potential remake right on in the list. Some of you may already be thinking, yo, Space, why do they need a remake? We have the Phantom Liberty expansion and the game has never looked or played better than it does now. Experimentation being one of the things that a Cyberpunk remake could be used for. By this time, Cyberpunk should be more than a decade old. If The Witcher 4 is launched somewhere between 2026, more so 2028, and with them talking a new IP under codename Hadar, a remake could be the perfect way to get fans back into the Cyberpunk world at that time. Utilizing things like the new Megalight system and a bunch of other high-tech features UE5 brings, you can test the grounds a little bit and poke the bear to see what could stick for Cyberpunk 2 using the previous version of the game as a remake, and using the tech to potentially take another stab at adding some of the old promised gameplay features back into the remake. I think it would be so dope to call up a choom or to get a call from a choom and to see where they are in the background. That was something that was gonna be in the original version of the game. That would be great to bring back amongst a few other things that would help make the world again more thriving and believable. Using UE5 would just be perfect for that. This also could be a great chance to introduce more lore into the world, setting up new rabbit holes for us fans to dive into, like potentially more lore about Mr. Blue Eyes, Rogue AIs, or one of the different factions including the NUSA. Also, this should go without saying, yet your boy's gonna say it anyway. Night Corp, okay? I'm pretty sure it's gonna have something to do with Cyberpunk 2, but just in case, I need to say it again. Night Corp. With V in mind, and to buff up the gameplay a bit, I think a feature that would be great to bring back and add more depth to the world and how the choices affect the world around V. From one of the original ideas that was going to be added into Cyberpunk 2077 would be that complete gameplay-driven dialogue choice system. It gave you the ability to look in different directions, and based on the characters you were looking at, it would give you different dialogue choices no matter who was asking you a question. That is something that would be so groovy to bring back or to try in a remake.
Yep, just little old me.
She's lying.
Search the area. Now listen, folks, we don't need to be here all day. This piece of shit, Anthony Gilchrist, did he or another asshole at Militech leak info to you or anyone else about a convoy?
It might be tempting to reach for the gun, but the consequences could
Got
be
nothing
dire.
to do with him or
Remember,
Militech.
these guys are really tough.
Shit. Checks out.
You got nothing on me! Nothing! Won't get away with this, you bitch! You're dead!
Somebody shut him up.
Take me home! Now!
adding new dynamic world building and expanding features to open up more of Night City for players to explore as V, with maybe a few new missions, cars, weapons, and new apartments and customization options within those apartments. What about the casino that we never got? We could even bring that damn thing back. With the remake, it's like, we're finally gonna give you this casino, folks. You could even add more from the modding world into the game, testing out what you could and could not use for Cyberpunk 2. Since not everyone in the world can afford the kind of PC that can handle the base game itself, and let alone, I think many PCs would probably explode if they booted it up with mods. Just imagine a Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty expansion redone in UE5. Wait, what? You said that they already got a trailer out. Boot it up, let's see. You're an idiot. That's clearly not Cyberpunk Remake on Unreal Engine. That is the Matrix Awakening, okay? And that is not real. Using that Unreal Engine 5 Matrix Awakening marketing video to help talk about some of the specs that could go into making the Cyberpunk remake an actual thing. Starting off with the meta-human animator that will help make realistic human-looking beings in less time. It said that it streamlines the character creator process and gives them so much realism than ever before. And it's even said that the actors don't even need to come in and get their faces mocap. They can just get the animations from their voices alone. And I don't know about y'all, but I kept hearing particularly the same voices over and over again from the same voice actor in so many different characters. They didn't even try to switch up the tones of their voice. It was literally the same person. Like, the same person who played Dexter Deshawn was also the same person that played the voice of the trauma team medic after you rescue Sandra Dorset, or a lot of other characters that you come in contact with in the game. Now think about the world that they wanted to give us, with humans living their lives and doing their own thing in Cyberpunk 2077. This could be the chance to not only make the world look so realistic, but if not on par with the modding community, and if anything, possibly getting on the same level as GTA 5. And I like the animation to simulation feature. I'm just gonna read this one right off of the site. This feature offers a new way to handle animation for characters and creatures in the game, making them more reactive to changes in the environment. This feature could significantly improve in-game character mechanics and AI. That, coupled with the mass AI and world partition for open world streaming, it would be hard to beat it in a remake. You see where I'm going with this? I'm talking about just the world right now. The human beings that they are creating as Night City residents in Cyberpunk could be upgraded to the max. This is the opportunity to go back and make good on the promise of making those NPCs as realistic as they possibly can. They are living their own lives to some degree. They don't have to be fully fleshed out, but if you was to choose an NPC and follow them, they are going to be doing significantly different things that make them more dynamic in this world. If something blows up, they're more reactive. It would be cool to watch NPCs fall over, roll around, scramble to get up, and all these other things, versus just kind of cowering in the corner or tucking their head in their hands and running mindlessly in any direction, which is, I guess, kind of human-like. Now, as Ocho Cinco would say, we already know about the amazing Lumen lighting system. I still remember when they showed, which was my first time seeing the Rivian electric pickup truck, was during this showcase of the UE5's Lumen lighting system, or dynamic lighting system. So that right there could be thrown into Cyberpunk, and with all of those new modded renditions of it, when you gotta have like a 10,060 GPU, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta have something out there that costs as much as a damn home to be running in your PC for lighting like that. The hyper realism that comes with those type of things, it blows my mind. But a feature that I really would love to see added into any Cyberpunk game, Cyberpunk 2, or a potential remake of the first one, I would love to see the chaos physics and destruction. You think about this, you're shooting bullets non-stop. the world is breaking apart around you and not pre-made things that are supposed to break away. No. You're talking chunks of wall missing, like the scene from The Matrix when they ran up in the building to rescue Morpheus. I'm saying the world, you can go back into using the mantis blades and digging into the wall and crawling up and down, looking crazy as hell, and having the physics match that if I land on the ground. It breaks apart, cars blow up, buildings blow up, lots of shit and chaos is going on in this world. You got that going on, and then over time you see machines or something like that working to reconstruct the place that just got devastated by whatever the hell happened. I might be reaching hard as hell with that, but I understand that it is possible to do. I don't think that I'm asking for too much. Even if it's not in a remake, something like that would be absolutely amazing. And there's already destruction physics in the game. I'm not saying that Cyberpunk doesn't have those. It has it, and they look great. But do y'all remember a game called Battlefield Bad Company? I mean, you could blow up whatever the hell you wanted. If I stuck C4 on the damn wall and I hit it blew the whole wall up. It didn't just blow up the window and the people inside. Nah, baby, it blew the whole thing up. Things like that could be added into this game, and I might be crazy again by saying this, but it's something that I absolutely personally would pay anywhere between 50 to a whole hard 70 eddies for this to be possible. I would pay the money for it, and they could use that money and funnel it right back into Cyberpunk 2. Just bathe us in the glory of what will be Cyberpunk 2 on UE5. Am I out of my mind, y'all? Am I crazy? Yes, but for good reason. And even with the things that I just mentioned, we all know I'm barely scratching the surface of what UE5 is capable of. The fan base for Cyberpunk has not let up one bit, and we are huge supporters of what the game has been able to give us, and we love the dev team behind it. Even though it's only a small dedicated team that is actually behind a lot of these new patches, I can't thank them enough for what they have been able to do and how much they have done over time, giving Cyberpunk the well-deserved position that it's in. In a world that is very much the near future, gaming is only going to get better. I say, why not take a hack at the idea and see if it's worth something? And once again, I get to leave it up to you, my beautiful choombas. What do y'all think? Am I completely out of my mind thinking that there could possibly be some benefit in a UE5 rendition or remake of Cyberpunk 2077? If let's just say that they said, okay, Space, we heard you. You're crazy. We're crazy. Let's go ahead and make this a possibility. We get what you're saying. We smelling what you're cooking. Would y'all pay for that? Let me know in the comments below. And if y'all haven't already, subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button, and share the video with all your other crazy Cyberpunk friends. And I can't wait to catch y'all on the next one. Remember to take care of yourselves, be kind to yourselves, love yourself most of all. And it's never too late to get some professional help if you truly need it. Talk to somebody. Don't have closed lips out there if you're going through something. Trust me, therapy can help. Just give it a shot. And if you ever need some stress relief, remember, there's always plenty of gonks in Night City that need they ass zeroed out, baby. And there's only one merc that can do it. And that's you. Sending y'all nothing but love, and I'll catch y'all on the next video. Let's go ahead and end transmission. And I'm out. Peace.